how to assess the eye shape, dotting, and mapping. We're going to go into how to assess your client's eye shape. You want them sitting down for this. You don't want them laying down, and you can have them just looking straight at you, not up, not down, just kind of straight to assess their eye shape. I recommend them sitting when you're assessing their eyes and see what kind of eye shape they have. But when it comes to mapping, we're going to show you two different ways on how to dot the eyes, having them sit up and then having them lay down and dotting. And I find that you get the similar results dotting with sitting down and laying down. So I'm going to just show you that they translate pretty much the same. So I have them open and then close, and I dot around where the pupil is at, and then have them open again, close, and then dot around where the outside of the iris is, and then open and close again, and the other side of the iris. These are reference points that you will use for many different map shapes, like the open eye, the reverse cat eye, the kitten eye. They all use these three dots as origin points or reference points for the maps. So I personally like doing the dotting when the client is laying down. This is when I find that they can look directly above them and then dot. And you can see from this that the eye is dotted the exact same from one side to the other. I just find this a little bit more comfortable, a little easier to map. And you can see that the dots are in the exact same spot on each eye. So after you apply your lash pad or pad and tape, then you are going to draw the reference points here. So I'm going to draw the middle line where her pupil is, the outside of the iris, and the inside of the iris. So depending on the shape I do, I would either use this whole section from the line from the outside to the inside of the iris as a whole section for like my open eye, the entire thing, or just one or the other as my reference point for the longest. From here, I'm going to draw my taper point to go towards the inner corner and then map that. So I'm going to start very short, going from an 8 to a 9 to a 10 to an 11, and then jumping to 13, and then going down from there. This would be a squirrel eye. So just remember, sometimes these sections are going to be bigger, sometimes they're going to be smaller and only include a few lashes in each segment, but these are those supportive sections to be able to taper upwards or downwards to create the certain type of map. So after you draw in the lines, you're going to dot the lines that don't have dots. This is so that when you are lashing and you pull the eyelid to get those inner or outer corner lashes, that you know where the section begins, and when it is distorted, you're still going to know where the sections are. Just know this is removed by the primers, so make sure you prime the lashes before you put the dots on, because the primer will wipe them off. So I'm just going to show that this will wipe off really easily without leaving any sort of marking or residue, and it'll come off easily. So make sure you wash and prime before you do this, because primer will take it right off.